Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to my channel once more. For those of you that are subscribers, you are most welcome. Those of you that are new, you are also most welcome. But please don't forget to hit that bell icon. As you can see, I have braved the outdoors. Today is a lovely day. So apologies for not filming outdoors earlier. But as I've said in the other videos, I have had health issues. So hopefully today I'll be able to cover the remaining outdoors, of the what I call the inside of the town. So this is where we left off last time. As you can see, that is Harvey's, or what I call the Harrods of Halifax. So we went up this street, just let the bus go past, which is called Horton Street, and of course this street is called Commercial Street with all its banks. So we're going to be walking along here and cover the two long streets that I've not covered. So in the background you can see there the headquarters of the Halifax Bank group. So I think I've not focused on some of these buildings. So as I say, you must admire the Victorian architecture, and we have lots of that in our little town of Halifax. So I'm going to go down this street right down to the bottom, which is called Margaret Street. This street is actually called King Edward Street. So we do have an original branch of the Halifax Building Society, or Halifax Bank as it is now. And then on this side we have this building, which has been used for various purposes. It is now a Duke of Wellington, but back in my time the whole of this was the co-op, and we always used to call it the Arcade Royal. So a splendid 20th century building. So, and moving on this side is the still continuing with the Halifax Bank Building Society. So all of this used to be the co-op, but now it's used for more modern outlets such as cash generator. Okay, so again on this side, this is now a charity shop, but it's had other uses. Before that it was Yorkshire Linen, and back in my days it was of course the Woolworths. Okay, so I'm coming back towards where some of the earlier videos were filmed, which is the corn market, or the Borough market here. And when we get there, the wards end on this side. So towards this side is the Wards End with its splendid grand theatre. So I have been on this street. Sorry, it's a bit shaky. It is a new phone. So as you can see in the background, we've got our splendid town hall, and this street is called Albion Street. And again, the Merry England has been here a long time, but what's further down, those used to be a number of fishmongers, but sadly I don't think there are any. Oh, there is one left. So this of course goes into the Borough market. So I'm going to zoom all around, and I have shown this before from the other side. It's called the White Horse. So I'm going to go all the way down to Margaret Street. So as you can see, so there is two fishmongers there, one there and one there. Those were the traditional businesses in our time. And coming down here, a new development called the Westgate Arcade, and I'll enter that from the other side when I get onto Margaret Street. So continuing my way towards Margaret Street. If you remember, this is the Halifax Borough Market, and I did mention once that there is a terrace in the sky. So up there is a small street. I think you can just catch it there, where there is a number of residents. Okay, so I'm going to continue walking down. So all these buildings wonderfully maintained, thankfully, but of course at the present moment very, very quiet because of the lockdown. Okay, so the building in front is called Westgate House, and on the bottom there are a number of shops, many of which unfortunately have closed recently. So we had a Dorothy Perkins there and a few others which unfortunately have closed down. So the upper part of it used to be various offices. I think at the present moment it is the council. So I'm on Margaret Street. So if you remember, down there was that memorial to the Duke of Wellington's regiment, and I walked along here right to the end. Today I'm not going to do that because I'm going to show you the bits that I missed, as I call them, the nooks and crannies. And this, as I say, is the last of the internal streets, as I call them. And then we are going to venture out into some outer areas if I can. It should be a lot easier now that the weather is improving. So what we're going to do is, well, first of all I'll show you again that there is an entrance to the Peace Hall down there, and you can see where I actually started up on Beacon Hill back there. So the journey has been the Beacon Hill, and then behind this Peace Hall was of course the railway station, and I've wound my way all the way around, and we are at this spot, and this was added recently. Some people say it's sort of not in sync with the rest of the architecture, but I like it for all the new businesses that it has brought. And of course it is covered, and in summer when the weather is fine, it is a splendid place to come and have a tea or whatever else takes your fancy around here. So a number of eateries, unfortunately all closed. So you have Nocos here and some larger ones at the back, and some small independent shops. Really are quaint. So if you're into vinyl, Bob Dylan, one of my favourites. Ooh, they've got all the collections, records that I used to have. So don't be put off by the fact that it's so quiet. It's only because of the lockdown. It really is a splendid place. This entrance here takes us to Horton Street, which again was one of the earlier places where I shot, so I'm making my way back up towards Commercial Street. So it should take me another 5 minutes or so. So I am now where Halifax Borough Market is up there, and we've got various other retailers. So on a day like today, when it's nice and sunny, although it's quite chilly outside, it is really nice here, and we've got a whole array of independent shops, which is really, really nice to see. And of course it's nice and quiet. So dental practice as well. So I'm coming further up back towards Ward's End. So there is Ward's End, and if we go back to the top, so this is Alexandra Street, which as I explained earlier, used to house Woolworths. So it's rather sunny, and that is going into the camera. So there is our splendid Grand Theatre. Okay, goodness me, that first opened in the 18th century, but I think at that time Halifax was very famous for its theatres. There were 4 or 5. So this is Alexandra Street, and like I say, all this used to house the Woolworths in my time, but originally it was known as Alexandra Hall, which no doubt was a function area. So we are coming back towards Commercial Street, and as you can see there is the Halifax Bank Building Society, and I'm going to go around the corner, and that of course will bring me back to the Victoria Theatre. Okay, so some more buildings on this side of a later age that were added on. They look rather 20th century. So back on this side, so just next to Alexandra Hall, we of course have the Halifax Bank, and of course used to be known as Halifax Building Society, which of course started in the 1850s. Okay, so viewers, we are back to the top of Commercial Street, so with the shops underneath and the Victoria Theatre next to it. Sorry, I'm out of breath. As I say, the weather has been rather cold, and I've had a few mishaps, a few slips in the snow as well. I've been housebound, but hopefully I can carry on. I do want to go back to the spot where I started so that I can show you. Okay, so as you can see, I am now at the top of Horton Street, and each of these roads takes us out of Halifax. This takes us to Skirket Green, and then the other villages beyond, such as Greetland, Elland, and if you stay on the main carriageway, then that takes us to Huddersfield, and this road is called Huddersfield. And this way it takes us towards King Cross, which I showed you earlier, and the last shot that I'm going to have is of our wonderful Victoria Theatre. So that is the end of another video. So I hope you have enjoyed my tours of the centre of Halifax. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also in the description box I've left a link for another channel which I think is doing a sterling job, and it's done by two wonderful children. So please subscribe to their channel and give them as much encouragement as you can, and of course keep subscribing to my channel. So until the next time, which may be the educational part, or if I'm able to get out again. So but when I get out, it will be on the outer parts of town, and those sort of areas that I linked to some of the buildings and people. So for example, the Crossleys, I want to show Dean Clough, and then I want to show the house that they lived in, and of course they built a park as well. So those are the sorts of films to come. So I hope you look forward to that, and I shall see you in the near future. So until then, take care of yourselves, look after others, apna khayal rakhna, dusron ka khayal rakhna. Until the next time, goodbye, Allah Hafiz.